Shalom Aleichem Rabotai. We're continuing Mishnah Yomi in Terumot in the 5th parak at the 4th Mishnah. Seah Terumah tameah shenafla lameah seah Terumah tahura. We have one seah of contaminated, ritually impure truma falling into 100 seah of truma that is pure. Now, before we've had truma falling into chulin, we've had truma falling into meiser, kodshim, but we've never had truma falling into truma. So the issue here is, can it be bittul or ole, as we say by truma, because we take one scoop out to still give to the kohen, if what's falling in is truma tameah. So in this case, Beit Shammai osrin, they say the whole mixture is asur, it's not bittul, it's not ole, and it cannot be used. Beit Hillel matirin. Beit Hillel say it works. It's bittul. The tameah truma, the impure part, is bittul in the 100 measures of the pure, and it's now usable. It's now considered tahor. Amru Beit Hillel. Here the Mishnah is explaining the reasoning. Amru Beit Hillel Beit Shammai. So Beit Hillel says, Hawil utahora asura lazarim. He says, since pure truma is asur lazarim, and that's a very harsh isser. That's a isser mita bidei shemayim. That's, God forbid, someone might die from eating truma. Tameah asur lekoim, and tame is asur. It's asur to kohanim. It's an asur as a lav. It's not quite as bad. Ma tahora ole. So truma tahora, which is under this strict punishment of death by hands of heaven, that becomes bittul in 100. Af tameah toale, so too tameah, which its isser to the kohen is a lav and not as strict as death, that should certainly be bittul. Amru lehem Beit Shammai lo. Beit Shammai says, I don't think so. Im helu achulin akalin mutar nazarim. But if he goes after what the matir, the larger amount, if it's chulin and that's mekel and that's mutar for anyone to eat, not just kohanim, et tahora, that can be mevatel truma tahora. Tale hachamura hasur lazarim, could truma as the matir, as the larger part, which is aser to non-kohanim, could that work to be mevatel at the tameah, mevatel tameah? Now the answer is in yesterday's Mishnah. In yesterday's Mishnah, we ruled that yes, if one piece of truma tahora falls into chulin tahorin, it would be effectively bittul, but we want to just prevent it from becoming wet. So it's makabel tuma, so it's not going to spread the tuma. So la'achar shechodu. So it came around that Beit Shammai agreed to Beit Hillel. So la'achar shechodu, after he agreed, there was still a machlokas about what to do in this situation. It's bittul, but we know by truma it's ole, meaning even though one seah of truma was bittul and 100 other seah, it's ole, meaning we lift one out, like lashon aliyah, to give to the kohen so the kohen doesn't lose out. Rabbi Eliezer omer tayim v'tzaref. Rabbi Eliezer says you take out that one seah and you have to burn it, because we assume that's the tameh seah. Chachamim omrim avda b'miyuta. They say it's considered lost in its minority. Now it's less than 1%, so it's bittul. So the other sages disagree with Eliezer. They say there's no truma tameah here at all. The tameah part is so insignificant in the whole mixture as a whole, it's considered as there's no truma here at all. It's gone. It's flown away. And now the kohen, remember, it's all truma. It's truma tameah fell into truma tahora. The kohen can eat all of it, lamaisa, because according to the sages, it's considered as if the tuma aspect has become bittul in the majority. Great. Moving on to Mishnah Hay, seah truma. Now this is, everything here is tahora, nothing here is tameh, like we had in the last Mishnah. So we have a seah of truma, shenafla lameah, and it falls into 100. And here it's just a regular chulin, 100. So we have one seah of truma falling into 100, the classic case where it will be bittul, would be ola, as we say. So he's ola. He's higbia, means he lifts up that one seah scoop to be ola, to give to the kohen. But then, whoops, nafla lamakam acher. So that one seah, that replacement truma, falls into a different box of chulin. And maybe this next box of chulin only has 10 seah. So perhaps that's a problem. Rabbi Eliezer omer Medumat Kitruma Vada. He says, yes, it's a problem. It can make Meduma like truma vadai. It's as if this scoop that he took out, the replacement truma, the olet truma, as if it's really mamish 100% truma. And therefore, if it fell into 10 or 50 or even 99 seah of chulin, this one replacement scoop would make the whole thing meduma as a mixture and usher for non-kohanim to eat, because the truma would not be bittul, according to Rabbi Eliezer. This is Rabbi Eliezer's shita. Seah shenafla, he seah sholta. He says whatever fell in, and then you're picking it out, is considered exactly the same. Now, we know it's not exactly the same grains. Rabbi Eliezer knows that, but he says it halachically, it assumes the status of exactly what fell in, which is why in the last Mishnah, he said you should pick up when it was tameah. Remember, the one seah of Terumot was tameah. This is the previous Mishnah. He says when you're Ole, when you pick up that one seah replacement, we consider that as if it's all the tameah, as if all the tameah got there. And throughout this parak, that's Rabbi Eliezer shita, the seah shenafla, that's the one that you get back. Chachamim omrim eina midimat ela fi chashbon. They say it doesn't make meduma only according to its percentage, which is an interesting statement because according to its percentage, it's less than 1%, and it should be bittul. So really, lemaisa, this scoop you scoop out, it's less than 1% truma, assuming everything was thoroughly mixed. Not necessarily the case, but in theory, everything could be mixed up, could have been stirred up, shaken up, could be shaken and not stirred even. And the truma would be less than 1% because the original mixture was 100 chulin and 1 truma. So it's less than 1% truma. So what do you mean, lefi cheshbon? It should be bittul. The whole thing should be bittul. So it means what you would take out from the second box. You take out only the 1%, the 1%, a little bit less than 1%, that is the proportionality of truma is a little less than 1%, and not take out the whole seah. So it is a kula because lamaisa, most of the truma in that replacement seah, according to the sages, is bittul. Shkoyach Rabosai.